Hey, Collective, we're here to do a reading. Life, right? We're gonna do just a collective reading, no signs. It's a rainy Sunday morning, and I just wanted to come in here and play, basically. There's only so much time. There's only so much time. I obviously need to stop saying that. That's not a good way to manifest. But, card popped out from the Halloween Oracle. Mummy, change. Underneath that, Skull of Darkness. It's got Mummy, change. And then Skull of Darkness. Beautiful cards. Change. I opened up to the skulls though. It's funny. Wow. Skull of Darkness. Blind spots. We may wish to delve there, the shadows, the darkness, the unknown. Yet when we search, we revel in our power. It has grown. The beautiful and mysterious Skull of Darkness encourages us to look to the part of ourselves that normally remains hidden, or as unseen as possible. We may not appreciate or like certain aspects of ourselves, and yet, sometimes, our greatest treasures lie within these areas. How many times have you heard of famous artists or people extremely successful in their fields being bullied for being so different? Yet it is the very differences from others that make them so powerful. Additionally, all of us at some stage of life have certain blind spots that may cause us grief or trouble. Although we cannot see the issue clearly, it is the repeated pattern of pain that may alert us to them, symptoms, if you will. For example, the same things keep happening over and over again. Or we may be betrayed repeatedly, fail at something repeatedly, or complete tasks, or not complete tasks continually. Peace and pattern breaking can be achieved by doing the work of uncovering our blind spots, or even consulting trusted, close friends and professionals to assist us to see what we cannot. Whew. I was being pulled away from that in that last paragraph. I'm sure you could tell. I don't know if I wasn't supposed to read that, but at the end of it, it made sense. Some of that made sense to me. Which one did I read? Oh, okay, sorry, my finger was just in the wrong spot. Blind spots. That's kind of, it does, blabbering. There are spaces within ourselves and with others that we cannot see. So we have to be a little more mindful and conscious of our own subconscious things in which way that they occur. And also is a reason to become more compassionate to others because we don't know all their spots, right? Even, yeah, okay. Just as we don't know some of our ish, and hope that people have compassion and let us know, the same is true of others. It's funny, I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in, not everyone of course, but sometimes we get so wrapped up in the ways in which we're failing. Like, we don't realize we're self-sabotaging. We don't realize we're being a dickhead in certain moments when we're just truly awkward. And we don't know that others not don't know, but we kind of maybe sometimes forget that other people are going through the exact same thing, and I don't know, something needs to change, and I know that needs to change. I'm guilty of this. Anybody's listening, I know I'm guilty of this. I'm working on it. I'm well aware that when I feel awkward, shit comes out of my mouth in a way that's either unkind or arrogant or self-centered. When I'm sometimes the self-centered stuff when I'm just being silly, not self-deprecating necessarily, but just being silly. Truly, like, everybody deserves to love themselves, but it comes off funny, and I know, and like, I'm trying to remember that not everybody's in my head. Not everybody knows my heart the way I know my heart and the way I see other people. So if I know how I see other people, but my words come out funny, they're not in my head. They don't know how. Oh, am I gonna get emotional? I hope not. They don't know how incredibly amazing I truly see them to be. So if I say something out of pocket, I just look like a bitch. When I'm just being goofy or silly or like paralyzingly awkward and unsociable. There's a reason we went through 6 minutes of whatever that was. Mommy, change. You need to change. Usually I wouldn't do them out of order, but I'm guessing there's a reason. The sand in his mouth. The bandage's wound. Sorry, doggo. Jealous of the living. Eternal life bound. Excuse you, right now? You need to? Come here. Dia, come lay down. She's got an empty bag of chips that I was letting her play with. Okay, that's what that sound is. Jealous of the living. Eternal life bound. The ancient Egyptians took death very seriously. Death was seen, not seen as many of us see it. A finality to be dreaded, but as just the beginning of a new life, and often eternal life, in a better place, the afterlife. The practice of honoring and preserving the body through a complex process of mummification was central to ancient Egyptian culture. This was not just a physical embalming process, but a carefully enacted ritual process that ensures preservation in the next world. Many other cultures also mummified their dead, including the Incas, the Argentinians, the Maori, and many of the cultures of the Torres Strait Islands. In our modern horror genres, the mummy has become an icon. From early horror writing at the turn of the century to the very popular films The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. The plot normally revolves around the mummy returning to life and cursing and hunting down the living. Discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb and other long-hidden Egyptian treasures in the 1920s, in particular, sparked an explosion in mummy-related films and literature. Should you pull the mummy card from the deck, know that change is inevitable, and that no matter how hard you try, things will not be preserved exactly the same way. The card also indicates that this change will be for the better. The endings, the closed doors, the barriers. This is just a healthy pause, an indication that a change of tactics is needed. You are not cursed. You've just developed a pattern. You can take control and change it. What were we saying about patterns? When we screw up, I think sometimes we're just like, I surrender to the universe, which is great, but agency a little bit sometimes, especially when you know it was you who did the dang thing in the first place. what I meant by throwing your hands up is that I am fated to now be alone. I was unkind, and they should hate me, and all these things that we do to ourselves, and honestly sometimes to others. Like I have a workplace culture, honestly, that is most of the time very beautiful, but on occasion there's a toxic thing where they ostracize one or two people who acted out of pocket a couple times. It's like, okay, well, how do we not know that there's something going on with them? Like, maybe they are in chronic pain. Maybe, like, they just got dumped by text last night, and, like, you don't know these things. We just have to have more grace for others and ourselves. Try to correct things when we can. Sometimes correcting your mistakes is challenging, too. Trying to throw olive branches in nicely after you messed up is tough. And to attack your problems head on is what the Dwayne from Dry Creek Ranger School, which I happen to listen to him on occasion. I don't agree with all his philosophies, or I don't agree with all of his ways, but I agree with much of his philosophies. Adding more air to a fire, adding more wood to a fire, that could just go out to have a nice fire tomorrow. Like, be out of wood, and you'll make a bigger fire, and things will go bad. Well, this analogy is not working out for me, but even this, it's space. Things will change, things are gonna stay the same. If something's in a bad way right now, it doesn't mean you're doomed. You messed up and you'll never go back. I think I'm gonna leave this here. This is very, like, self-contained. Like, grace for you, grace for others, self-accountability. She's got a tennis ball. Yeah. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. This wasn't much of a reading, but I'll be back for more. Take care.